Okay, it's another process. And what we're going to do, we're going to break this process down into stages. All right. But we started with supply and demand and market structure. Okay. That's kind of the foundation behind our group. All right. Supply and demand, having an understanding that price leaves a demand zone and goes to a supply zone. Having the understanding that price leaves a supply zone and goes to a where?
Demand zone.
A demand zone. Okay. Then we talked about market structure. Price breaks the high or breaks the low of the structure. We look for the retest of that area, and then we have the continuation. Or if you ever heard, listen, price broke structure. I'm looking for it to now go on in this direction. All right. Understanding market structure is very important, especially if you're doing a break and retest trade. You know where, especially if you're doing a rejection trade, you know where to place your stop loss. All right. When we talk about placing your stop loss below structure or above structure. All right. Then we transition into how to take the trades, right? The rejection trade first. Majority of your trades are going to be rejection trades. All right. Then we got into the break and retest trades. Okay. But something that I feel is very important, as well as Chris, we feel that this is very important that you have an understanding of this, and it is counting waves. All right. If you can count waves, you are adding another level to your trading strategy. All right. So what we're going to do this evening, we're going to break this down into sections. And that's why I started to implement the different indicators, the 50 moving average, as well as these stochastics. All right. We're going to use all of those tools to help us count waves. All right. So this process, we are just building upon the last steps. All right. So it's going to be very important that you follow tonight. And there's going to be an indicator that I'm going to need everybody to get, and this will only help you with the wave counting strategy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Let me take this down. And I'm coming over here. All right. Here's what we need to do. Does everybody see the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. I'm going to change this to, let's go to our pair. Market watch. Let's get to our EU chart window. And I want to come to my template, and I want to put the J Moore. All right, perfect. All right, so here's what we're going to do, okay? We're going to go over, and if you're in front of your computer and you have your chart up, please, all right? I want you to do this with me, okay? You're going to go to view, and then go down to navigator, okay? Under navigator, I want you to go down to where it says the market. All right, here's the market down here. Okay, so you see it says services and then it says market. All right, let me do that one more time. Okay, view, navigator. You're going to go to the tab that says services, and under services, I want you to click on market. Does everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Now, in your search box, in the search the market, we're going to look for an indicator that's called the LT colored moving average. Stephanie, is this one it? That looks familiar?
I think so.
That's
I
the
think
only one
that's-
that came up for me.
I think that's the one it. I think that's the one it. I think that's it right there.
I think
All right.
that's it.
Yeah, this is it. LT colored moving average. Okay, so what I basically typed in, I typed in LT and I just typed in COL and then I came down to the second one. Okay,
And where did you find the search bar? What did you,
top right hand corner.
and you click market, then indicators, right?
That is correct. So one more time, right? So view, navigator. You're going to go down to where you see services. And under the services tab, yep, under the services tab, you're going to expand the market. And when you select the market, this screen will pull up. Okay. Then from there, in the search box, LT, COL, and it's going to be the color MA, colored MA. Now, do me a favor, Adrian, I want you to share your screen because I already have it. Can you share your screen for me? All right.
Okay.
So that's how it's going to come up. Okay. Then I want you to download this. So click on download.
I'm having to make an account real quick because I never made a MQL5 account. Because it won't let you download it without it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Who said that?
Jeremy?
Jeremy, do me a favor, pull up your chart. Share your screen.
All right, hold on.
Okay, capital L. Make a capital L, capital T. All right, then COL. Scroll down some. That's weird. Type in colored moving average. No. LT colored moving average. Type in the whole thing. Nope. Type in colored moving average. Let's see if it comes up that way. That's weird. It doesn't pop up like that.
So
Yeah.
once we download it, do we need to
Okay, let's do type in colored MA.
One thing I found out is if you have to click on market. If you click on something else before you try
Right.
to search, it won't do it.
yeah, it's
Alright,
probably
now-
searching under a different
Now
criteria.
do it. Yeah, do it right there. That looks like the screen I pulled up first. LT colored moving average.
Yeah, there it is.
There it
Second
is
row.
right there. All right, thank you for that, brother. I
All
appreciate
right,
that.
thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice to know. Thank you. All right, so we want to go ahead and do that, okay? And then we want to download. So let's go ahead and Adrian, pull your screen back up.
I downloaded it and now I'm seeing this here.
Okay. So it should be under, all right, if you're looking for it, right? I want you to notice then it's going to be in your, it's going to be sitting right here. All right. Under your market tab in your
Okay.
navigator toolbox. So then once we go back to our chart, all we're going to do is drag and drop onto our screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, how do I close? Oh,
Drag and click O.
I'm assuming I checked this.
That's fine. Yes. Click OK. All right. And let's go. Okay. And I want you to go to the colors.
Which one is it? Is it
It's going
the?
to be the one that changes colors, right?
I
That's
see,
going to
okay.
that's going to be very important. Properties. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to change the input. So go back to inputs. All right. We want to make sure that this is the 50 SMA. And we want to period close. So change the value to 50.
Defensive tackle.
All right. Apply to close is fine. Okay, go to colors.
Huh?
Is it allowing you to change that color? Sometimes when it's free,
Yeah, it does.
change, all right, cool. So change that blue to green.
Any green or is there?
The green that you like, but change it to green.
Got it.
All right, and I want you to click OK. Perfect. Now I want you to go back. All right, I want you to go back to your indicator list and delete the 50 moving average.
Okay.
All right, so you can X out of this.
Jason.
1 second, I'm gonna get you going 1 second.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's the 200.
All right, that's
So can I
200.
leave the 15 and the 200? Because I don't think the 50's here right now.
You know what?
Because I think this
50 is
replaced it.
the 50 is being covered up because it's the same 50 moving average.
Yes.
All right, so perfect. You are good to go. All right, Mr. Simmons, you can go ahead and drop your screen, Adrian. Mr. Simmons, you want to pull up your screen very quickly?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just want to make sure that people have access to this because this is going to be amazing. It's going to add a whole different dynamic to your trading strategy. All right. Yes, sir. All right. So what you need to do is you need to set up your account. All right. The MQL5 account.
Okay, I was thinking it was already set up. That's why I'm stalled here. So I won't hold you up. I'll do that. I'll get.
All right.
Stephanie
If
to
you
help
look
me with
right there, so no, all you gotta do is if you don't have an account, just click register. Just click please register right there at the bottom. Go down,
Right
go
here.
down. Go, all right, right there, register. Click on that.
It's not responding.
No, the register is blue. Click on the word register. Right
Oh,
there.
Okay, great.
Mhm. And then that's all you got to do. Okay, it's just go ahead and make you a login, and then you'll be good to go. All right. And Mr. Simmons, I will walk you through this, but I want you to get this information because I know Chris is ready to deliver this wonderful information we have for you guys tonight.
Okay, great.
So why don't you go ahead and drop your
Excuse me.
screen, and then I will.
Can you
I will
run number
get you
7
caught
back
up.
again? Appreciate it.
All right. So, Sean T. Brother Sean. All right.
You caught me off guard, Jason. I'm trying to eat dinner.
No problem. Listen, I want to make sure that I was going to do a roll call, make sure that people had this indicator.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I'll tell you what I'll do because my hands are.
Go ahead and eat. Go ahead and eat. Say less. Go ahead and eat. All right.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Murphy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Murphy, you got it? Were you able to get this indicator?
No, even when I went to view and navigator, the market thing didn't even show up for me.
Okay.
So I
So,
was gonna.
Sean, pay close attention. I will get you squared away.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. Jasmine,
Hey, Jason.
are you good to go?
I'm still setting mine up right now.
Okay. But you have the indicator.
Yeah,
All right, perfect. Jeremy, you're good.
capital HERE.
Yeah, I got it on there. I just need to set it up.
Just set it up. Okay, so all you gotta do is just make sure the biggest thing as far as the properties, you want to make sure that the value is 50 and apply to close. All right. The colors, we can always change the colors, but you want to make sure that the value is 50 and apply to close.
Okay.
That's going to be the biggest thing.
And do you hit load or just hit OK or save it?
Just hit OK. Just hit OK. And then
Okay.
you want to make this a part of your template.
Okay.
So save this as a new template, or just save this, under your template, and this will be your new template that we will use.
So I have period 50. The
Period
method
50.
is the method simple,
Simple.
and then there's for shift is 0.
Show your screen, please.
All right, 1 second.
Yeah, we're good there.
Okay.
Okay. Go to your parameters. Okay, good. And then if you want to leave the colors that way, that's cool. But you want to make sure, go back to inputs. All right, put it on 50.
So I need
All
to, what, do I
And
save that?
it.
Because I
Save it.
any suggestions on how to save it? Like,
When you hit load, I'm not familiar with the Mac. I just know that it will stay there. Go back to where you were.
let's see.
All right, hit load. No, that's not the same thing. So I guess the OK should be fine, and it should stay. But if you put this on your template, it will remain the same. So X out of that, Jeremy. Cancel that. All right, hit OK. No, I didn't mean to say cancel that. But go do me a favor. There you go. Change that to 50. Hit OK. Hit OK. All right, cool. And then say that to your template, and it will stay that way.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. All righty. All right. So for those that may need some extra help getting this indicator, I don't want to take up any more time. You can always just hit me up tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening before class. I'll make sure we get this. But I want to bring on my personal mentor, Mr. Christopher Holt. He was the individual that really helped me understand counting waves. So I just thought it was fitting for him to come on and share that same information with you all. So Chris, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, excellent. So Chris, you can take it away.
Okay. Okay. So tonight, basically, what I'm going to do is try to give you guys, a basic overview of counting waves, the way that we do it. Some of you may have heard of Elliott waves. This is a derivation of Elliott waves. That's what I like to call it. It uses some of the techniques of what you might understand about Elliott waves, but it makes it more objective rather than subjective. So rules are very solid. There is no, this might be, or maybe it could be. It either is the rule or it is not, which is the way I like to trade. It either is the right rule to take a trade or it is not, and I don't take a trade. So which is one reason I really like this methodology of counting waves. Why would you want to count waves? Let me get into a little bit of that. A lot of what you guys know right now is just supply and demand and price action patterns off of those supply and demand areas, which is an excellent way of trading. And I'm not taking that away from you at all. What I want you to understand about this that I'm about to show you is to use it in context with what you already know. So you're still going to use your zones. You're still going to draw on your zones. You're still going to take your trades based off how you know to take them right now. But what I want you guys to get to understanding as we go further into your learning these different things that we're teaching you is that you're going to fine tune what you're already doing. So to give you an example, right now you take a 30-minute price action pattern off of a 4-hour key line is what you're looking for off for a rejection trade. Well, understanding wave counts and then understanding how to take trades off of a particular wave count is going to reduce your stop losses once you understand how to take those trades when you get to that part of it. Now, we're going to do this in steps or in phases. I'm going to show my screen in just a second, Jason, and you have to bring it up. Just wanted to go through this first. We're going to do this in phases. Today is simply understanding the rules of counting waves with a blind eye, meaning we're not going to use anything other than the 50. And now you do have the 50 changing color. So it's going to show you when the indicator has angled in a different direction or when it's flat, you'll be able to see that. But the actual wave count itself may be off based on what we'll show you as we tie in stochastic, which you're already familiar with. We'll go a little bit deeper into that because we use the stochastics to tell us exactly if this is a true wave or not. But we're not going to get to that piece yet because we're going to do this, like I said, in phases. So first off, let me get to where I can share my screen. Let's see, do I want to do a white page first? Yeah, let me do a white page first. A whiteboard, rather. Okay, so everybody sees the whiteboard. Alrighty. And I want to annotate on this. Okay, so if we have a trend, and the reason for understanding wave counts is it's going to help you with understanding when you are in a trend, when you're in the beginning of a trend, and when you are most likely at the end of that trend. Now, we don't know for sure when a trend is going to end. We don't know for sure when a trend is going to begin. But when you're using this type of strategy, what it will do is show you, all right, when you're taking your trades, you want to be in on the as soon as you can at the beginning of that trend. Okay? And when you're just starting this, you're not going to start off as soon as the trend begins, but you're going to be able to catch trades on the first retrace of the trend. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. So a trend itself is usually going to be approximately 3 to 5 waves. I can draw this. Matter of fact, let me do it this way. Oh, that'll work. Use the right drawing tool and I'll get it right. Let me erase that. 1 second, I'll get it right. Use my free hand. Okay, a trend. It's kind of ugly too, but y'all get the point. usually goes 3 to 5 waves. So this would be the first wave up. This move back would be a retrace within the trend. So this would be 2. This next move up would be 3. This move down would be 4. This move up would be 5. This move down would be 6. It's just a trend going to the upside. Okay. When we look at counting the waves, what we're looking for is to be able to get into a trade here and here. These are going to be your highest probability trades of getting in early into the trend off the first and second retrace, or wave 2 and wave 4. Okay. If we're knowing that, or if we understand that a trend is likely to go 3 to 5 waves, then that means if we're getting to wave 6 and going to wave 7, we are in what's called an extended trend. So when you're looking at, and you understand the wave counts, and we'll get into this in just a minute, and you see it coming back to a wave 6, and you know that, okay, 6 and 7 are now going into an extended area of a trend, is it most likely that this is not the best place to continue to think that the market is going to keep going in this direction before it turns around? Well, the answer is it's not likely that it's going to keep going. Okay. So when you understand this with what you're doing, let's say you had a, let's say you had a zone that extended up to this area, and I'm kind of just giving you what you already have now so you understand the why of what we're doing.
I could draw that in with the tool, Chris. Where do you want?
Go ahead. Draw it up to like it hit wave 7. Wave 7 hit a 4 hour zone. Okay. So wave 7 comes into a 4 hour zone, and you understood, okay, you were able to come out of a zone. Let's draw another zone down here coming out of wave 1. Or let's say it hit wave 2, or it was a break and retest of wave 2. Let's do that. Okay. So wave 1 broke, retested with wave 2. So what this can give you is a roadmap to see that, okay, wait a minute, we just came into wave 1, coming back to we just broke a zone that created wave 1. Wave 2 went back to retest of that zone. You should be very comfortable to know that this should go to wave 5, but I do have a zone up here. Very possible if I'm at this point now, if I've gotten wave 5 at this area, comes back to 6, that I'm going to get wave 7. And now I'm going to get a rejection trade available to me at wave 7 to come back to the next zone down here, to reverse off of wave 7. So when we're looking at wave counting, the first rules I want you to understand is that the trend is going to last on average 3 to 5 waves. Anything beyond 5 waves is an extended trend. We look for reversals at wave 7 and wave 9. Okay. Sometimes you'll get it at 5, but reversals normally would be happening at wave 7 and wave 9. Everybody follow that so far?
Yes.
Any questions about what I've gone through so far?
You said that you look for reversals on waves 6 and 7, correct?
Wave 7 and wave 9.
Wave 7 and 9, got you.
Wave 7 and wave 9. Okay.
And I do have a question. I don't know if
Sure.
you were gonna address this, but
Go ahead.
so the waves, like how are we supposed to differentiate, one wave structure from another? Is it just between our zones?
We'll show you that. I'm going to show
Okay,
you that. I
gotcha.
just want you to get these rules first, and then
Okay,
I'm going to
gotcha,
show
gotcha,
you
gotcha.
how to know when to start a wave count, when to stop a wave count.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And all those are very important. Okay. But I just want you to get this average trend, 3 to 5 waves. Wave 7, wave 9, look for reversals. Wave 2, wave 4 are good trades, waves to take trades off of to continue the trend. So you could be at a point where you missed this break and retest on wave 2, but then you saw wave 4 occurring. Well, you can get right back into that trade and keep going. It gives you another opportunity, even though you didn't get into the trade off of that zone. Okay. If there's no other questions on this part, we'll get into using the 50, where the 50 comes into play. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, we're good. All right. Now, where does the wave count start? And I'm going to do this. Let's see. Let's make it blue for the time being. All right. The rules on wave counting is that the 50 SMA is the trend indicator. It's the midterm trend indicator. It's not going to tell you that the trend is going to last forever. It's not going to tell you where the short-term trends are going to be, because there's short, there's midterm, and there's long-term trends. We're just looking right now at the middle of the road when it comes to trends, and that's using the 50 SMA. Okay. When we use the 50 SMA, the rule is when the 50 is flat, meaning that the angle of the 50 is basically, if you're looking at it and you can draw a box going across the screen and it's flat. Now it could be waving because it's never really truly straight flat. There's always going to be some movement to it. But basically, if it's a flat line going across the screen, that is a flat 50. We do not count waves while the 50 is flat. All counting stops at that point. We begin our counts when the 50 has started to angle in one direction or the other. All right. So just using this example, what's already on the screen right now, let's just say that the 50 came down here and it started to turn up here. And y'all just have to forgive my drawing that I'm trying to keep good. And it's really a straight line. No zigzags in the 50. Okay, so the 50 was coming down and it started angling or started turning right here. It was flat in this area right here. Would you agree? Basically flat, right? Mm-hmm. So there was a count coming down and then it started angling up from this point going forward. That is where the highest point in the market after the 50 starts to turn up. That's why we use a colored 50, because it's going to turn colors, as you'll see in a moment. When the 50 turns colors, in this case, it will be green on my screen. You see that in just a second. The first time it does that out of a flat moving area, the highest point in the market is going to be wave 1. Okay. The pullback, or the first time it starts to come back to the 50, doesn't have to come all the way back to the 50, but the first point that it comes back, that lowest point there is going to be your wave 2. As it goes back up again, the rule here, in order for you to have a wave 3, you must have a full body candle above wave 1. And we're going to show that in a real life in just a minute, but I just want to show you here just by drawing it out. But in order for this to be wave 3, it must be a full bodied candle above whatever candle is here. So that means wick and everything. It cannot be a piece of the wick below wave 1 and the body, then another wick. It has to be a full body wick body, whatever is above this wave 1, in order for this to be a wave 3. Okay. And then the highest point will be your wave 3. As the market pulls back again, all you're looking for here is the lowest point between 3 and 5. 5 again will be a full body candle above wave 3. And 6 is the lowest point between 6 and 7. 7 will be the highest point with a full body above 5. Okay. Going the opposite direction, the rule is the same. So if I have wave, let's say that the market starts to turn flat here, the count stops here, and it starts over when the market, when the 50 starts to turn back down. Okay. And in that case, let's see, as this is happening, oops, wrong one. I hate drawing with that. You may have some stuff like this going on up in here. And then all of a sudden you have this and that again. Forget the drawing, and this and that again. So all of this up in here is no count because the 50 is flat. And you will see a lot of times when this is happening, this is an area where you'll see a lot of wicks on these candles, up and down, up and down. It's just a bunch of dojis. It just looks very ugly when this is happening. And then you'll see order come into the market. Well, it'll give you a nice move down, a retrace, now it's moved down, retrace, nice move down after this angle. So once it starts angling again, the first move down is your wave 1. The first move back to the 50 is your wave 2. A full body candle above, below this time, below wave 1, full body below, and its lowest point is wave 3. The next retrace back towards the 50, the lowest, the highest point in this case. The highest point in this case that it goes back to the 50 is your wave 4. Then as it goes back down again, as long as there's a full body below 3, this is going to be your wave 5 before it pulls back again. Okay, everybody understand that so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
let's move on. Okay, so let me stop sharing this one. Share with you. Okay. All right. So here we have, this is the, I'm using Ninja Trader, the Ninja Trader platform, and an indicator on here that gives us a colored 50 SMA. Actually, this is the NASDAQ or micro NASDAQ 1 minute chart. I'm only showing 1 minute because it's moving enough to give me some, so you guys can see what's happening with the 50 while it's doing it. A lot of movement here. Even got a flat 50 going on, so it's a good little teaching tool to show you. All right, so here, just on what you see on this screen, we can see where the count begins, where the count stopped, and where the count started right back up again. Okay, so initially we have this 50 going down. Now we didn't go all the way back here. I'll do that. That'll be even better. Okay. Let's go a little bit further. Yeah, it's even better. All right. Up in here, you see how this is a flat area. If I were to draw a rectangle, let's see, just covering the 50, you see how the 50 is pretty much staying within that area until it gets to here. That is a flat 50. So there is not going to be any counts as long as that 50 is staying flat until the 50 starts to angle down. And now you have a situation here where this first move down is going to be your wave 1. Now I know you have one little candle that came up. What we're looking at here is we want a significant I'm going to call it significant, but you want to be able to see some retrace of the market, not just one candle that's kind of stopped in the middle. This is kind of still within the move. So I'm not going to count this as one, that's two. Okay. Just with the blind eye. Remember, there's some other tools that we'll bring in that will tell you whether or not that's one and that's two or not later. But for now, just on your blind eye, I want you to see just, okay, first move down, this is wave one. And Jason, I have you draw that in if you could for me, please, while I'm showing this. So this is your wave one down. Going back up, the highest point coming back up to the 50 is going to be your wave two. Now, this is a little tricky area because we are not actually, we don't have the indicator to tell us whether or not there are what's called cycles in this, because a cycle is going to be a new wave count within it. But just on blind eye, we're just looking at, okay, the move back, even though we have all this maneuvering going on here, the fact that we keep getting higher highs going back to a 50 that is still angling down, we still have to take our count as though it's still going down. We don't stop counting yet, even though the market is moving back towards the 50 SMA. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, so in other words, this section looks like somewhat of an uptrend.
Right, but you are still in a downtrend.
So that the direction of the 50 kind of is telling us that.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
Okay.
It is, okay. So even though the market went past the 50, we are still counting in a downtrend because the 50 is still angling down at this point. We don't stop this count until this happens right here, where the 50 turned colors on you. So it basically turned flat in this area. And all this did was say, okay, well, we had a wave one here, came back up here, and we're looking for this wave two to see if we're going to get that to come back down. It probably did happen up in here, but you never got a wave three. Because remember, a wave three must be a full body below wave one. So you're still looking for wave two at this point. And this is where it stops. So when we no longer are looking for wave two, now we're looking for wave one going up because you have the 50 turn up on you. Okay, so that move up would make this wave one going up. This highest point, wave one is right here to the upside. Draw that in for me, Jason, if you would. Okay. Now, what happened here again? We go flat. What happens when the 50 goes flat?
Start the count over.
You stop the count.
Oh, stop the count, sorry.
We stop the count. No more counting, 50's flat, okay? We don't start counting again until the 50 starts to angle in one direction or the other, okay? So as it's starting to angle down now, we can call this wave two. Now, here's a little tricky area up in here because that kind of looks like it went still flat here. Okay, but you won't, with your blind eyes, kind of a judgment call as to whether or not that's flat or not. I would say it did go flat here. So all of this, I wouldn't even worry about counting it just because it's just, this whole area to me is a flat 50, okay? I would look more here at this point going down because that's pretty obvious to see, definitely angling down at that point. So from here to here is going to be my wave one. Wave one, not X. It's all good.
And we're still doing this on an uptrend.
This is a downtrend now.
Okay.
50's down, it's a downtrend. Okay. The move up, the highest point as it's moving back up is your wave two. And we'll say that that's this point right here. Now, what you have here is, we're at the end of the market, but this is what's called a complex retrace. What I mean by that is that as you have the wave one, you got a two, You got to move back down to make wave 3, but it did not make a wave 3. It came back up to this point, but the 50 is still angling down. So we keep counting, but we don't just discount what's happening as this is going. What you have to do at this point is you're going to give these letters. So in this case, this move down, this is your A to A is where it starts, to B to C, until it breaks and makes a lower candle below that wave 1. See 2C up here, this would be 2D right here, Jason, before we get down there. It's right here. This move back up is your E. That's okay, we'll take it. Down here is going to be F. We still don't have a full wave 3 because it didn't break this wave down here to make wave 1. And this is actually BG, but it's okay the way Jason did it. It's all good. It's still a complex retrace. Complex retraces can be a godsend because out of complex retraces comes very big moves. Okay, as long as that 50 does not go flat. So like here, this is a complex retrace, but when that 50 went flat, it just wound up being nothing. Okay, here you still have a complex retrace. As long as that 50 stays angling down, this is eventually going to going to shoot down and give a big move to the downside. It's either going to do that or the 50 is going to go flat and the market could continue to go sideways and just the market you don't want to be trading. So when you have a flat 50, we don't take trades in that market. Don't try to take a trade while that 50 is flat, because even though you may have a setup happening, there may be a zone up in here that the market is interacting off of. You may have thought you had a price action pattern that looks great. If that 50 is staying flat, don't take the trade. Because what's going to happen, the 50 is a magnet. If it's angling in one way, that's telling you you're in the trend. If it's not, if it's flat, that's telling you the market is not trending and you're liable to get anything at this point. It's a dangerous market to try to trade when the 50 is flat. Okay, so this is to help you as you're trading with understanding areas of, okay, this is a very good area to take a trade because that 50 is telling me that we are in a new trend going in an area. I'm coming off of a zone. You should be very comfortable with taking a trade when you're seeing that happen. Okay. If the 50 continues to angle down, no matter what the market is doing, don't try to trade against that. Because what can happen is you'll get something like what you see here where the market went above the 50. Now this did give you an angle up, but immediately turned back down. The market is going to come back to the 50. It's something that always happens. This is the 5 minute, but let's just go to a higher time frame. Let's say the 30 minute. Erase your stuff there, Jason. Okay. Okay. You can see how the market comes below, comes above, comes back to the 50 here, goes above the 50, comes back to it, goes away from it, but comes right back to it, goes really away from it, but comes right back to it. It will always do this. And we can do this with just about any moving average. But in terms of this particular, the reason we like to use the 50 moving average with this methodology, it works very well with what we're going to show you as we go forward, with what we're going to, teaching you as you go. So think of it as it's a magnet for the market, that the market will always come back to it. If the market gets too far away from it, the market will eventually come back. So if the market gets beyond it and it's angling away from the market, you can bet that the market is going to come back to that 50. Okay? It's actually a trade setup that we use. We won't get into that today. All right. So for now, I just want you guys to understand and getting into wave counting. It doesn't matter what time frame you're looking at. It is all the same. Wave counts are all the same. This is a flat area, no count. Angling down, wave one down here. Comes back up. As long as it doesn't turn flat, there's no count. When it goes back to go the other direction, wave one up here, wave two. Very good areas to take a trade off of. Wave three, full body above wave one, very close. Comes back to 4, trade area, coming off of a zone. So 60-minute zone right here. Excellent trade areas early in the trend, most likely to keep going. You can see here another zone right here coming into these areas. It's just it's giving you a map as you go of where you can take your trades from. So what I'd like for you guys to do is try to practice counting waves on your own charts. I don't care what chart you use, you have the indicator. And I just want you to get the idea of, okay, 50's flat, I don't count. Just go from left to right. With your 50 on whatever chart you're looking at, go from left to right and count the waves of the way you see it. Right or wrong, it does not matter. We're going to help you fix that as you go, but that's the only way you're going to get good at this, is to practice it. Okay? And trust me, you get good at this with the blind eye when you get into some other things that we're going to show you where it actually does this for you. You're going to love life. Telling you, because it's like taking candy from a baby when you really understand what's happening now. All right. So I really want you guys to practice this with those rules in mind. Show us your charts. We'll critique them to help you get an understanding of what it is you're seeing as you go. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I just to go back to a question that Adrian asked about stopping the count. It was a different example you had up, stopping versus starting over.
Yes.
So when we hit a flat area, when the 50 is flat, if we've already begun to count, just for clarity, we do not start over. Even if it changes directions, we continue, we stop and continue.
So wherever it's going, it's a start over. So it stops the previous count and starts a new count.
Gotcha. Okay.
When it starts to angle again, the new count starts. So between here, let me mark it.
Like those arrows right there are all areas where the count started over.
This is all you stopped here because it went flat.
Right.
No count, no count, no count. Starts to angle up again. This is where you start again.
So this,
and you keep counting until it goes flat again.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got a question, Chris.
Yes, sir.
So you said that once the 50's flat, we're not counting. Once it angles in one direction or the other, that's when we start our count.
Yes.
And let's just, for example, say that it's angling down. We're starting our first wave count once at the lowest point after that wave has started. And then once it trends back up, then that's when we know that that's the first wave, correct?
After the 50 gave the angle, that lowest or highest point is going to be
your wave one.
Your wave one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lowest, like candle body, not wick, right?
Yeah. It could be the highest point, highest high, including the wick, or lowest low.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like down here, your
so
lowest
this would be
low is one, is down here. The lowest point is one.
Okay. Well, those are about the same, but I got you.
Okay. And it would just, all it would do is move, because this is really equal low.
Yeah, equals.
Okay.
Still one. All of this is one. Didn't make a new low here. Still one.
And then on the way back up, you said
When it comes back
the
up,
highest point.
highest point is going to be 2 as long as the 50 did not turn. The 50 did turn here, so the count stops.
But if it
And that
didn't turn,
happens.
to go up
If
to
it
that.
didn't turn, it would go up. Like, let's say it was still red, like it would be here.
If this was still red, this mark, well, you would have the market come back to it if it was still red.
Right.
Down. But this up here would be 2.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
as it came back down below this point would be 3. It would have to come way back down below this to get 3.
Mm.
And that
Okay.
may or may not happen.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you think of it like your waves 3, waves 3 and waves 5. They have to create a higher high or a higher low.
Yeah.
That makes
Right.
sense. I got you.
Okay, so we're catching the trade on 2 and 4, which is essentially the pullback or the retracement.
The first
All right,
and
so
second retrace of the market.
the first and second retracement. So in
Gotcha.
order to have a wave 3, in this case, in this uptrend, in order to have a wave 3, it has to create a full body above wave number 1. In order to have a wave 5,
Gotcha.
wave 5 has to create a full body above wave number 3.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, then what we have is going to be a
complex retrace.
A complex retrace. There you
Gotcha.
go.
As long as the 50 is still angling, it's
Yes. So
Correct.
if we
Gotcha.
still have, let's just say, for instance, here's our 50 and our 50 is still angling green, then all that will be okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And regarding the size of the candle, does that matter? Just as long as it's full above,
right?
It's a higher high.
Yes.
If you're going up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I know the naked eye is going to be a judgment call in some cases, but that's okay. I just want you to get the idea of the wave count in your head right now. And then as we progress through this, you're going to see some of you are going to be right on it. And some will be like, oh, okay, I see what it did here. When we add in the other piece, which you already have seen. You've seen stochastics. Stochastics helps you count waves. We're just not going to do that today.
You want us to loom this to you?
That's fine. Sure. You put it in the Telegram.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys comfortable with. If you just want to draw it in, put a picture, that's fine. If you want to do a loom, I don't care. Whatever you put out there, we'll check it out.
Okay.
All right. That's all I got for you tonight.
Sir.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Thanks, Chris, a lot. Thanks,
Okay,
Chris.
sir.
Thanks a lot. All right. So I'll stick around for a few in case anybody has any extra questions or needed some help with anything. But this has been extremely helpful, and it has added just another layer, like I said before, another tool to my tool belt with the wave counts. Now, when we use that in conjunction with our zones and our key lines, it is just an added bonus. It is an added bonus. Okay, so everything starts with our supply and demand. Now we're just adding just a few things on top. We're just refining that, and it's adding a few things just to give you the edge in the market.
That's it.
All right, so this is only day one. Like Chris said before, what we want to do is want you to get your eye trained with the 50, right? This particular strategy works with using the 50. That is going to be the determining factor, okay? And I want you to get your eyes trained, and be able to recognize and identify what does a flat 50 look like versus what is a 50 with an angle. Or if a 50 changes from a bullish trend to a bearish trend, how to start your count over again. All right, so this is going to be the first step. Step number 2, or phase 2 for counting waves, is when we add the stochastics to it, which will help you count the waves. All right, so if there are no questions, then Chris, you were recording?
Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead and start the recording, and
Okay.
guess that will be it.